Well, good morning, everybody. We're back. Here we are, Monday morning, my God, October 19th. Isn't that crazy? I don't know what's happening to time. It is going way, way, way too fast. Hope everyone had a good weekend. We had some beautiful weather, and I hope everyone was safe because our little friend Corona is being a bit of a pest. So let's just make sure we're all staying safe. Now, I can see that this camera angle, not the best. I'm way over here, and you're staring at a deep freeze, which is, not very interesting. So we're just going to do a little shift of the camera. The struggles of live television. Well, not television, but you know what I mean. There we go. Perfect. Good. So, today we're going to do our stretches laying down. Again, you can do these on the floor. You can do these in your bed. As long as your bed is solid enough, right? So you want to make sure you have a bed that supports you. If you have one of these big squishy beds, right, that you're sinking down into, you might not be able to do a lot of these because what's going to happen is when you try to do a stretch, instead of supporting you, you're going to sink into the bed, right? And then that's going to throw you out of alignment. So as long as your bed is supportive, you can do it in the bed. No problem at all, right? So we're ready to go. Again, we're going to do full body. We're going to start off probably with the pencil stretch because I love that one. And then we're going to move our way down. And curious cats are showing up. So this is Urza's little sister. This is Winston's little sister named Urza. She's a big suck. Hey, what you doing, baby? Hey, what you doing? That's so cute. Okay, but you can't jump on me today, okay? All right, here we go. So we're going to do the pencil stretch. Hopefully with the cat in the way, you can see all this. So as you can see, my feet are flat. We're going to bring our hands up over the top. And she's doing them with me. Okay. Now in this position, we're going to reach. We're going to push our heels down and we're going to push our hands up. And we're just going to stretch that out. Right? Just a couple of seconds. And I'm done. There we go. Hey, you fatty? You're going to put you. She's so cute. All right. Ready for another one? All right. Here we go. There we go. Nice. Not too hard, right? We don't strain ourselves. Make sure we're nice and comfortable. Perfect. Good. Excellent. So how'd that feel? Stretch out? Nice. Okay, so next one we're going to work on is the shoulders. Now the shoulders are a little bit hard when you're laying down, but if you have a sore shoulder, it's a good way to kind of get them to move to begin. So we want to encourage movement if you're stiff. Okay? If you can do this standing up, obviously it's better because it gives a freer range of motion. But if you can't, this is an option, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to lower our hands down. Again, move this ball out of the way. So we're going to lower our hands down like this. So now you're going to feel some tension in that shoulder. You have a rotator cuff, right? And all of the tissue in the shoulder. I'm not going to go in the whole list of them, but all the tissues in the shoulder, right, are now being stretched out in this position. Just holding this position, you're going to feel them stretching out, right? So if you can only be here, let's say, before you reach a sort of stiffness, that's okay, right? That means your rotator cuff is tight. So don't push your hands down. We're relaxing those hands, right? We're not pushing them down. So if you're relaxed, and your body stops here because your rotator cuff is tight, that's fine. No problem. Good. Now, we've gotten a little comfortable. If this is easy for you to maintain, here's what we're going to do. Right now, if this is hard for you, you stay here and you let that stretch sink in, right? So if you're not flat, then we're not even going to attempt this, right? So if you're up here, you just relax. If you are here in advanced, here's what you're going to do. You're going to stretch them up now. Like you're doing an angel. So now you're going to touch your fingers up on the top of your head. Making a nice little arch. And you're going to hold that for a second. You're going to let that gravity pull down on your fingers. And those hands, you're going to stretch out those shoulders even more. And we bring it back. So again, if you are still in this range where you're relaxed and you're not flat, then that's where you stay, okay? Don't do this, guys. We don't want to make it too hard for you. Gotta relax. All right, perfect. Doing great. Now, we're gonna move our weight down. So we're gonna do a chest opener, okay? So a chest opener, very similar to what you just did. We're gonna put our hands down. Now your hands can be, if you put it this way, it's gonna be very just uncomfortable, but if you're flexible, not the end of the world. So all you wanna do, just by taking big, deep breaths, is you just wanna expand that chest cavity. There we go. And I'll show an advanced version after this, okay? So now we get the big expansion of that chest. Now, if you are very flexible, right, here's what you're going to do. One leg is going to help support, and you're going to allow one arm. So this arm here, now you're going to have your arm flat, okay? Because now you're going to do it this way. So with the arm flat, it's going to pull up in this section up here, right? And stretch that whole pectoral muscle, because remember, you have a connection here on the sternum, which leads up like a little triangle up into this point right here, okay? So we want to stretch that pull, where we're pulling on this point, and we're stretching out this whole thing. So I'm stuttering a bit because of a lack of caffeine. That's what that is, folks. All right, so I'll show you this side. So see, you don't have to be very deep into it. You just want to get that stretch. So those are for the people a little bit more advanced. All right? How you doing so far? You okay? All right. Now, we're going to work on the lower back. Now, don't worry. If you can't achieve this, get yourself a towel, and I'll show you the alternate version, okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take both of our legs, and why both? I'll explain to you soon, okay? Now, we come back here, lay down, and we just relax. So we're not pulling our hips down. So I don't want you pulling these knees down. What you're doing is you're stretching that back out. So you're rolling your hips forward. So I'm not pulling my knees down. I'm rolling them up, right? And now we're just stretching out that back. Good. Perfect. Now, if you have an issue, our famous little towel, right? So let's say you can't do that. You're like, Chris, can you give me like something like that? If you can, here's what you're going to do. You're going to use a towel. Now, your towel can be longer than my towel, right? My towel's not very long, right? Well, long enough that you can lift your legs up. And what you're doing is, again, you're not pulling them down. So you see they're behind my knees? I'm pulling them up towards my head. And we're relaxing. And that lower back is getting a stretch. We'll show you a different exercise later for your lower back that you can do also in bed or on the floor. But some of these guys require you to get up. So the reason I'm going some really, really basic ones here is because there are some people that literally cannot roll out of bed until they get a couple of the kinks out. Right? And if you're at that stage, or even if you're not at that stage, you might wake up one day having done something the day before, and now all of a sudden, oh, geez, I'm stiff, I can barely get out of bed. So this is a good advantage for that, okay? And that's why all of our stretches from Monday to Friday change. Because your scenario might change. You might be great one day. You might be doing the Friday stretches one day, and then the next day, you're stiff as a board. So things change, so this is why we got to keep moving along. Okay, so now we've worked out that lower back for now. Now we're going to work on the hip. So small change. Now we're going to grab the knee. So you have one leg bent, one leg straight. God, I'm too big. Look at it. I'm up against the wall. God, sometimes you forget what an oaf you are. So in this sense, okay, now that we're here, we're going to relax into that stretch. So now you're going to feel, you're not going to feel a stretch. This is not a hamstring stretch, okay? You're going to feel it right in here. And you're just encouraging movement of the joint more than you are stretching muscles in this one. Right? We're just activating that joint. Good. Perfect. Good job. Doing great. All right. And we release. Remember, we release slowly. Right? We don't snap. You remember those lessons? We've gone through a lot of them. We don't snap. There we go. Now, why is this leg flat? Because now that I've encouraged the movement this way, if you look, I'm helping extend that here. So now we're stretching out both hips at the same time. Great. You're doing awesome. Nice. Just like that. And remember, guys, this is not a workout, right? We're relaxing into these stretches. So that's how we're going to do it. Now, next one we're going to work on is the hamstring. So we're going to do 2 modifiers on this one. But these, really, to do them right, you're either going to need to sit up or already be flexible. Okay? So for those of you who are a little bit more advanced, we'll do that on Friday. Okay? We're going to do one laying down that involves a towel and holding your leg up and all kinds of craziness. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. If you are in a situation that you can use a wall, so let's say you are doing them on the floor, similar to what I'm doing, we can make use of this wall here to prop our legs up if we need it, okay? So here's what we're going to try. We're going to slide it down, get nice and close. Now, one leg at a time. So if you look, similar to when I'm sitting, right, I have that straight position. I have my straight back, right, and I can get a hamstring stretch out of this. Now you have to make sure that you're close enough to the wall that you get that angle, okay? Because if you're not far enough, so if you're here, now you're going to get the pressure on the knee. That is a problem, right? You need to be close to the wall, right? So you need to be nice and close. So you get this angle, similar to like we did in the chair, right? So it looks like I'm sitting in the chair if you turn the camera sideways, right? So it's got to look like that. So that's one way to get them. Now, if you don't have the convenience of a wall right next to you, because not everyone does, we'll do another one. Because if you're not doing this on the floor, right, you might not have a wall handy. Right? There we go. And remember, guys, the angle is super important. When you're doing a hamstring stretch, the angle is extremely important because if you do it wrong, pressure is going to be on the knees. So again, if you're not feeling it, the length of it all at the same time, right? Not, I'm feeling it in the knee, and then I'm pushing myself, and then now I start to feel it when I've gone way too far. You're already hurting your knee. I mean, from moment number 1, you feel it the length of the whole hamstring, okay? So this is where we need to stretch that hamstring out sitting up. Because unfortunately, there is no real option to do it laying down unless you have a towel that's going to pull your foot up over your head. But I don't think we're there yet. Well, some of you are, right? But if not, we'll save that for Friday. Okay, ready? Here we go. So, as usual, you see my leg is in this position. So, the point of this leg being in this position, we see this all the time when we do this stretch. We see the hamstring stretch constantly done this way. Okay, and why is this leg here? This leg is here for it to be out of the way and not be an impedance while you do your stretch. So, if I'm doing this, now I got this leg, I'm getting a pull on this side too, that's preventing me from stretching this side. So really, we're just negating this, right? So I've opened it up now, I've opened up that hip joint, and I'm freer to do more movement than if I was to have it in the way, right? So we want it out of the way and negate it. Good. So, toe up, back straight, go, don't slouch me now. Back straight, exactly. Now, if you're doing it right, you're going to feel it almost immediately, right? And then you're just going to lean forward. Keeping that back straight, you're going to lean forward. You feel it the whole length of that leg. If you're feeling it in the knee, it's because your back is bent. Right? So if you're feeling, if I bend my back, yeah, I'm going to get a lot farther. But I'm getting all the pressure right here behind the knee. You need to have it the length of the entire hamstring all at the same time. And then you're going to be, yes, you're going to be a little more stiff. That's fine. But you're going to reach down. There you go. to the other side. See, we're already almost done, guys. You guys are amazing. So fast. I mean, how fast was that? That was like 10 minutes. We're getting better at this. Right? Now we're stretching out the hamstring. We're going to do 2 more on our hands and knees, so don't get too excited. Right? Because just because we're laying on the floor or laying in bed, good morning. But just because we're laying on the floor or laying in bed, it doesn't mean you're not going to have to go on your hands and knees. So if you have issues going on your hands and knees, which could involve knee issues or shoulder issues, you have trouble holding yourself up, okay? You might not be able to do it. Gotta contact me. We'll help you through that, okay? Because there are alternate ways to do it. But again, 7 billion people in the world, no two are the same. But misinformation is a problem. So make sure you get information. Don't just search Google and Facebook for problems. You have to call professionals like myself, and we will help you, okay? So, last thing, we're going to go on the hands and knees. Yeah, I know. I'm just getting myself ready for it because my mat, because I'm giant, is too far out of the way. There we go. All right. Perfect. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the cat stretch, right? So, very gently, we're going to roll our back and we're stretching that lower back. Yes, I know. It's shocking me telling you that you're allowed to bend your back. I know. Tell me about it. But it is good for you. Now, don't push to the point that you're in pain, right? Especially when you're coming down. You just want to push till it's comfortably at its end. Right? And that's all you're doing. Good. So we're just encouraging the mobility of that spine, right? So we're not really stretching a ton of muscles. We're getting the spine to do what it's made to do, right? Let us move with us. Good. Just a few. Not too bad. Okay, now we're going to do our child's pose. We know this one, right? So we're going to sit back on our heels, right? And we're going to relax into this stretch. Right? And we're just going to let ourselves sink down. Now, 2 alternatives. If you're sinking down a little bit more, you can push your hands, finger walk yourself back and let it sink in. But you can't go back so far that you lose this stretch, okay? The stretch and the lats are important, so you can't be here because that's going to negate the lats. And you still need to have the arms up. Good. And we just relax. Right? Big deep breath. That's how we relax. It's a good way to relax, right? You get yourself in the position, you take a nice deep breath. Okay? Ready? Here we go. If you have trouble with your hips, I got one for you, an alternative for you, so don't worry. And so we get down. Nice deep breath. That's going to help you relax. Good. Now, if you have hip issues, in other words, you start to move back and you can only go about here, right? We're going to do this in 2 stages. You're going to lean your hips back to where it you feel the stretch, right? But you're still kind of locked into place. Now, this one you're keeping your back straight, but you're going to walk forward with your hands now. Right? So you're going to do it this way. So that's your alternative if you have hip issues. Want to try it again? Okay, perfect. So we lean back a little bit because we got to activate those hips. You can't lean back. You can't stay here. You got to lean back a little bit. You got to activate those hips, right? And then that's going to start that one end of the stretch. Good. Now we're going to finger walk our hands forward. Good, just like that. There you go. And deep breath. That's where we relax. All right? And slowly but surely, we're going to try to inch you further down so you can get down further and further. All right, guys, one last thing before we start today. We're going to do an ankle stretch, ankle circles. We're going to do them a little elevated. So remember before we always did them heel pinned or toe pinned, right? So here's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to get them up and do circles. So if you are strong now, here's the thing. This might seem easy, but trust me, it will tire your hip out. So if you have hip issues, all right, I'm going to go the other way. I'll show you the alternative, okay? So for those of you who can hold your hip up for this long, it's like a plank with your hip. Awesome. Good job. Now, for the rest of you who maybe not able to do that, let's lay down on our stomach and open that. All right, so we're just bringing that knee up. All right, but why is it different doing a circle like this, Chris? You ask, because I can hear you asking these questions. So why is it different to do it like this than opposed to being on our back and having our heel pinned? Now the difference is the heel, right? So look as I do this circle, go nice and slow. Look at how the back of the foot moves just as much as the front of the foot, right? So I have this full range of motion for that circle, both directions, okay? Whereas if I pin the foot, right, my heel is kind of restricted from what it's able to do. So I'm not really able to turn it and get that full circle that I can do. So let's try this again, all right? 2 versions. Here we go. One on to the side. Right? I don't know about you. Sometimes your ankle is going to sound like Rice Krispies, right? With the snap, crackle, pop, as they say. Good. There we go. Now the other way. And again, we use 10 as an arbitrary number. You do as many as feel comfortable, because you might start tiring. And alternate version, right? Knee bent. But you're still getting that free range of motion. And yes, if there are squares, right? If you're doing this and they don't look great, that's okay, right? It's important that we try, and eventually you'll be able to do it. Good job, guys. So, last thing I wanted to show off was my new pair of pants. Right, I got these at Costco. Very nice. Now, you might be asking, because I've done these in jeans, and you say, Chris, you told us that we can do stretches in any environment, wearing anything, and there's no reason. What's wrong with the pants you had before? So, here's the thing. When you do that, yes, technically you can wear literally anything you want, but it can't restrict your movement. Okay, so what was happening with the other one is I would try, let's say, a stretch like this, and it would be holding my legs up because it would restrict my movement. It wouldn't let my legs sink, right? So if you're going to wear any kind of pair of pants, make sure it doesn't limit your movement, right? Sometimes our pajamas are loose, and they're down to like here, almost between our knees. Well, they're going to block your movement, right? So make sure that you can move freely in the clothes that you are wearing. All right? So that's all we're going to do for today. Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw one bonus one in. Because just in doing the example I did, I realized that it is good for some people who might not be able to achieve other stretches. So, bonus round for those who have time. Okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to work out the groin. Now, I usually do these sitting down, but I realize not everyone can do them. So we're going to try to bring our heels up as close to our butt as possible. I was going to say glutes, but let's face it, it's the butt. Let's be honest, right? And now you're going to let your legs spread open. So you're going to look like a V. Pardon the extrusion, but you're going to look like a V, okay? And you're just going to let these legs relax outward. That was a pretty crass line I said, and I apologize. Try to keep it as short as possible. I'm getting my breakdancing moves in though. I'm spinning around. I'll be all set. There we go. Good. Okay. We'll try this again. Okay. Bring that set up. Bring those feet up. Right. We open up. And we're going to relax. And let them sink outward. Don't try to hold them up. Let them sink outward. That's what we want. Good. There we go. Bonus round is done. Congratulations, everyone. You made it through another Monday morning. Now we get on with the rest of our day. And hopefully it's a good day. Listen, it's going to be very rainy and very groggy all week. And I know it's tough, right? It's tough to get motivated. It's tough to be, you're sleepy all the time when it's raining. Your body just wants to hibernate. And plus, we have a crazy world outside, and you don't know what's going to happen for Halloween. And there's a whole lot going on. And there's a whole lot going on in our stress, in our lives, and in our minds, right? So, listen, first of all, it's okay. Right? Know that it's okay to be stressed. It's okay to be bummed out. It's okay to be worried about things. It's normal. Like, it's really, really okay. And the other thing you need to remember is just like stretches, just like fitness, professionals are out there, right? Whether it be me, I mean, listen, I'm not a certified psychologist or anything like that, but I've been through my share of ups and downs, and I can help you get through it. But there's a lot of people out there, and there's people out there that care about you and love you. So don't be afraid to lean on them. They're there for you, okay? So that's what I wanted to say before this rainy week starts. Have yourself a great day. And now I'm going to lean over here and give that awkward end of stream. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.